What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. Joining me today, our senior draft coordinator, the Doc, Ryan Milletti. What's up, man?
How you doing, Commish?
Real good, man. Ready to talk some Dynasty trades, as always. The Dynasty 2022 season's rolling over. Dynasty trades are pouring in, as always. 700 Dynasty leagues. We've never folded a single one. Take a look at the description. Got a link to our homepage, the Dynasty Orphanage, Dynasty Rules. Come be a part of the Masters family, man. Promise you won't regret it. We got all your fantasy needs, anything you could. Dynasty leagues, redraft leagues, guillotine, email drafts, tons of stuff coming up this year too. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Dynasty trade spotlight today. Super Bowl just ended. And every year, man, the Super Bowl, the playoffs are going on. Like when a team's doing really good or really hot, you'll see tons of trades coming in for the Super Bowl teams. So I thought, hey, man, why not do a Super Bowl edition? Talk to you about the Super Bowl a little bit. One thing keeps sticking out to me from the Super Bowl, and I thought it was a good game. Obviously, I'm a little hurt. I wanted the Bengals to win. I keep seeing that meme at the end of the Super Bowl. It shows Jalen Ramsey on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Jamar Chase wide open. Man, did you see that?
Yeah. And I saw the Aaron Donald was offsides and stuff like that. Just the officiating in general, that game was a little sketchy. We'll say questionable. Yeah.
I'm like, man, when I saw that, I was like, oh, if you just give Burrow one more second.
That's pretty hard for them.
And Donald offsides. What the hell was Cincinnati's offensive line thinking on that last play? The center doesn't touch, and I don't know if you saw the play.
Oh, yeah.
The center doesn't block anybody. And I mean, the guard doesn't, he barely got a hand on Donald. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Man. But let's talk some Dynasty trades, Super Bowl edition. First one popping up, going to start right at the top. Probably the most talked about player. Maybe not the last week, but before the Super Bowl was won. First trade popping up, we got Joe Burrow straight up for Justin Herbert.
Ooh. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Well, that's funny too, because I can remember during, I think it was even before rookie draft season last year, I was saying that Burrow was being picked way too low, and I thought Herbert was being picked a little too high. I was wrong on Herbert, but I was right on Burrow. That being said, I do think Burrow's a little bit capped just from a running perspective. Herbert seems to do a little bit more of it than Burrow does, and it's tough. I also feel like the Bengals are a little more committed to Joe Mixon and getting him involved too, so I feel like that kind of helps. It's really close, but I just feel like just the upside of more rushing touchdowns, yardage is enough for me to go with Herbert here.
Yeah, the Chargers not committed on Eckler?
No, they are. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like the Bengals like to run the ball a little bit more.
No, I'm with you. I just know you love Eckler, so I had to ask you that.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, you're asking me to compare children here between Eckler and Mixon. I've been hyping those guys up for eons.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And we actually talked about this on one of the lottery videos the other day, me and John Beast, and we both said Herbert too. And I actually still kind of think it's the right answer. I was sitting here today thinking about it prior to the show, and I'm like, man, I started to sway a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? The big difference here, and I do understand the rushing upside, but Burrow can get out and run a little bit too now.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, man. I hate to keep talking about him. I know we've talked about him a ton, but everybody's talking about the guy right now. But man, when I just look at the next 10 years, and look, I love Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, some upside. Who knows what's going to happen there? Palmer. Mm-hmm. None of these guys have the potential of what we have out of Jamar Chase for the next decade with Joe Burrow. But man, I'll be honest.
And T. Higgins.
Yeah. Not to take away from any of them other guys, but just wide receivers set in place. If Cincinnati doesn't mess that completely mess that up, this should be one of the best offenses, best throwing offenses in the league for the next decade. And when I look at the Herbert side, as much as I love Herbert, as great as he's looked through 2 seasons, I don't see that, man. I see a lot of question marks on the outside. So,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm with you. I think I'd rather have Herbert just by a hair, but I
Mhm.
also think I would be going out trying to get Burrow. Or if I had Herbert, I would make this trade all day and then try to squeeze an extra little piece out of it too.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue. I mean, Burrow can throw 5-yard passes that turn into 80-yard touchdowns pretty regularly, thanks to
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. And Higgins, like you said, he's young too. So both these guys, they're locked in. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand that. And with that logic, I mean, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
fault anyone for taking Burrow. I mean, it's just a lot more
Yeah.
solid
I
there.
mean,
But I
want
will
Burrow out of
say
it too. Yeah.
the offensive line is a bit of a worry, and his
Oh,
health
for
are a bit of a
sure.
worry. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just want to add this too, as much as basically every single human on the planet that loves
Mm,
football is worried about that offensive line. Like it's
yeah.
all you can hear. I mean, dude, it's everywhere. Cincinnati has to take care of that. You have
Oh
to.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
I'm sure they will. But
they
I mean,
will.
that's kind of what happened to Andrew Luck. Is they kept kind of whiffing on the O line, and he just got tired of getting beat up. Not that I think Burrow would ever do that,
Yeah.
or do I think that's even
Yeah.
remotely close to happening anytime soon? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something I'm a little concerned about. Even though I think their O line will get substantially better as the years go on.
Yeah, and I hate to say it too, man, but I think they have to address it, even at the expense of like T. Higgins. And I hate to say that, but you got to be looking at Burrow's contract. And it's crazy to be talking contracts already, but I mean, I'm sure
I know.
Cincinnati is. I mean, Chase is going to cost you I don't think they're going to be able to afford Higgins anyway.
Probably not.
At
Yeah,
some
that's an
point.
awful lot of money to tie up between 3 players. So.
Between 3 players. So keep an eye on that too. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Higgins still under contract, but I am worried about those 3. And I just don't know if Cincinnati can pull it off. All right, next trade popping up here, Super Bowl edition. The MVP of the Super Bowl. What an amazing season. I'm sure you've seen the meme. You guys at home have seen it by now too. Cooper Kupp this year, the Triple Crown winner, the offensive MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, all in one season, only ever done by one other wide receiver, which was Jerry Rice, and it basically took his whole career to accomplish what Cooper Kupp just did in one season.
Right.
After saying all that, I know
it's just crazy.
Here's the trade. Doc, this is going to be a tough one, man. We just talked about one of these guys. I know you really love this guy. I do as well. Here's the trade popping up on your screen. We got Justin Jackson, Tyreek Hill, and Deebo Samuel for Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, and Jalen Waddle.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
These are the days I love to be a commissioner and do trades, man. They're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I hear that, I break it down basically as, as obviously Kupp on a level of his own, but realistically, you can kind of wipe him and Tyreek off. That's like a wash. And from there, it's basically, Waddle and Lockett, yeah, for Deebo. I mean, hey, we've talked about Waddle and how McDaniel's going to plan on using him as a Deebo type player. So Deebo with, in my opinion, and I think the numbers might back it up, a little better athleticism and from Waddle. So like a more athletic Deebo, a younger guy with really nothing else on that offense to even worry about. I mean, he's going to get used a ton. Plus Lockett, it's a tough one, a very tough one, but I think I'm going to go with the Waddle, Lockett, and Cooper Kupp side. Not only are you getting the guy who just put up the best receiver season probably ever. But you're getting the guy in Waddle, who I really obviously think very highly of, and Tyler Lockett, who's, I mean, at the very least is a guy you could start pretty consistently. So I like that side of the trade. Yeah, by a nose.
I think it's close, and I can actually go either way. I mean, Deebo, I
don't think either way is wrong. To be fair.
I don't either. I mean, either way, you're coming out with some stud wide receivers. It'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. But I think I'm with you, Doc. I think I'm on the Waddle side, man. Just the youth you're getting there. And like I said, I really think this guy's going to be a dynasty building block type of wide receiver. But I mean, Debo too. So it's just big trade,
is tough.
guys. Good stuff. Got one more trade popping up here for the Super Bowl edition. We got T. Higgins and Tyler Higbee in a second round pick for Chubb and Dallas Goedert.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. Huh. That's interesting. I still feel like Nick Chubb is the most valuable in that trade but I mean he is getting older. He's struggling to stay healthy for a full season with, as much, punishment he takes. He's so physical. And Goddard, I feel like Goddard and Higbee are a wash, but Goddard probably more upside, or at least he should, but I don't know that he will.
Yeah, it's close.
Ooh. And then, I feel like I still would probably land on the Nick Chubb side of that trade, but I don't hate it. I'm anxious to see how the Bengals offense kind of moves forward with T. Higgins, because it was kind of hit or miss this year. I like to see, obviously, like when it hits very well. Like when he has his big games, they're wild, but I'd like to see a little bit more consistency there to make me feel good about making that trade. But I don't hate it, because I do like T. Higgins, and I do feel like he's going to be a consistent threat on that offense still for the next few years.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I actually take the Higgins side, and I know it's close, I think, for the next couple years. But this dynasty football, man, I'm always looking, 3-4 years down the road. I think you could easily, this one of them trades, man, where you're bored, you go, hey, let me go look at all my leagues, and then you're back in 2017 looking at trades you made. And you're scratching your head, man, because Chubb's done.
Yeah.
Chubb's out of the league and Higgins is balling somewhere. And you're like, dang, and it hurts. And you understand why you did it. But, man, if you could just have a little bit of patience, man, I think, the Higgins side, it just sets you up long term.
Right.
And the Higgins, man, a guy I'm actually going out to try to get after the show today. And I kind of talked myself into it as much as we've talked about Higgins today. Because I do think I know he was great, but I mean he's a clear number 2 on that team.
Right.
All this Jamar Chase hype, but man, like I said, just when we were talking about earlier, contract situation, I think no matter what, either Higgins is a great number 2 on this offense for the next 7-8 years, or T. Higgins is the type of guy that signs a huge contract to go be a number 1 somewhere.
Right.
I think either one of those things are in Higgins' future. And I think because of the Jamar Chase, he's just not as valuable as he should be. So for me, give me the Higgins side, and let me go make some Higgins trades today. That's where I'm at.
I like that. Right. I like that.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap up this edition. I wish I had a couple more for the Super Bowl. That's just kind of what I was trying to come up with a theme for today's show. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl, time with your family, and all that good stuff. Any last words, Doc?
Nope. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching, guys. Good stuff, Doc.